I'm out here in Mother Nature land, walking back to my car, and I was thinking about my dad. And I think that my dad was like always in 5D. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, kind of always in that ascension mindset where, like the golden rule and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. He really lived that. Like, we all talk about these things and we know that those are really lofty ideals, but we know how the world forces us to do it differently, to not follow those rules that we... Uh-oh, can I unlock my car? Oh yeah, I can unlock it with the key. Unlocking my car. Okay, I'm in my car. Yeah, anyways, those rules that we know about, and I don't mean like sinning or not sinning or good or bad or the 10 commandments. I just mean those subtle energetic rules of how we treat each other. And so to him, the way you treated people mattered more than whether you kept jobs. And he would leave jobs, from what I understood, based on his kind of choosing the underdog and supporting people that may have been mistreated over just kind of ignoring that kind of behavior and siding with the management or whatever the higher ups were that were influencing that. So I don't know, this happened. There was a lot of areas of his life where he just went against the grain, and it was almost embarrassing to me because he was such a what you would call good person, just so pure and unregulated and honest, and that it was really refreshing and really a lot of fun. But it was also, as someone growing up with that kind of a parent, it could be embarrassing, and I'm sure it was traumatizing. Obviously, I've worked through a lot of that, but because he wasn't a perfect human, he had flaws. His instrument, his body, his brain, his mind was broken down somewhat by getting banged around, and his injury, his falling from with a parachute that didn't open, to playing center in high level football and getting concussion. So his dementia over the years, kind of his behavior got really weird and whatnot, but for so long he was just so amazingly 5D. And my brother and I were raised that way, and some part of me, I think it's in me. I guess it's genetic. It's just, I've always had this knowing that, like, he was right on so many levels. He was right, and that's the way that you should be. And it took me abandoning that inner knowing for so long, for really having to kind of find it on my own. I couldn't be told it, even though I knew it. I had to almost get rid of it and like pretend it didn't exist for so I could own it myself. And it is so strong, and it would come back so strong that it would be permanent. And of course, those of you who are on the spiritual path know that you can't really go backwards. What might look like going backwards are just more learning experiences. So here I am, and kind of figuring this all out, and how amazing and how blessed I feel to have had an experience with someone like my dad, who I believe is one of my guides as well now on the other side. Hi, Dad. Probably sounds whack to those of you who don't understand this terminology. Just the energy, his energy is very guiding, has been a very, led me in certain directions, and has empowered me to even be on this video speaking to you about such whack things. So thinking back to our relatives and the impact they've had on us, and how that affects our understanding of who we are and why we matter. I knew from a young age, my dad was telling me how awesome I was, how much I mattered, that I was the visible expression of the invisible God, these amazing, like, heavy downloads. And I didn't know how to really receive that, but it went in, and I internalized that. And it was really hard because he was way out in front in thinking and feeling and expressing than most people my whole life. I was like, yeah, I already know that. My dad taught me that when I was like 5. So from that standpoint, it's been challenging, but now I can see why. I think we were both preparing to be here now, which I am very much here now, and so happy And so excited to be part of this new world that we're creating together, one by one, as we wake up to who we're called to be, to find our way back to complete unconditional love of ourselves, for ourselves and for others, fellow humanity. And that's all I got to say.